In less than 3 years, Burkina Faso rises from the ashes with unprecedented transformation. In under 3 years, a tidal wave of construction unlike anything ever seen has swept across Burkina Faso. From rugged dirt roads to nuclear power plants, from newly minted airports to university hospitals, from the remotest rural hamlets to the pulsating heart of the capital Ouagadougou, everything is transforming. Behind this fierce awakening stands Captain Ibrahim Traoré, the young president who seized power at the end of 2022 carrying a vision that transcends chaos and turmoil. Without empty promises, the 25 bold projects championed by Ibrahim Traoré have reshaped the destiny of Burkina Faso, sending shockwaves around the globe. The revival of the national airline Air Burkina marked a historic milestone on October 2, 2024, when a plane painted in Burkina Faso's flag soared from Ouagadougou airport. This was not merely a flight, it was a defiant declaration. We are back. Frozen for years amid crisis, Air Burkina returned not with fanfare or bluster, but quietly through a 98-seat new ATR 190 aircraft purchased for $19 million, the fruit of discreet diplomatic efforts between Burkina Faso and China. The inaugural flight connected Ouagadougou to Bamako. Yet more than just a route, it restored faith. The nation can now reconnect with the world on its own terms. President Traoré with his airline is opening the skies to a people long suffocated, and Air Burkina is the first wing of this rebirth. In the parched south of Burkina Faso, amid the steady hum of machinery, a modern cashew processing plant began operations. But what is produced here is more than nuts, it's a symbol of national pride. Under Traoré's leadership, this facility is not merely a factory, it is a lifeline. Designed to create over 20,000 direct jobs and up to 50,000 indirect positions, it promises to lift tens of thousands of families out of poverty. Burkina Faso is among West Africa's top cashew producers, but until now, raw nuts were exported abroad for processing. That dependency ends today. Traoré hasn't just built a plant, he's built an ecosystem that turns raw material into product farmers into stakeholders and a humble nut into a beacon of economic sovereignty. The postal bank, a lifeline for the forgotten, officially opened on October 7, 2024 in Ouagadougou. More than a bank, it is a gateway of opportunity for millions previously left behind. Conceived in 1988, it only came to life under Traoré, backed by an initial capital of $25 million. Unlike traditional banks, the postal bank serves women, youth, and farmers with savings, microcredit, and accessible financial services. This is no place for chasing riches, it is where true beginnings take root. Traoré calls it the bank of empowerment, and for millions of Burkinabe, it is a quiet revolution, steady but relentless. The revival of Burkina Faso's weaving industry now makes wearing traditional clothes a political statement and a source of pride. Bold initiatives under Traoré's watch have resurrected fabric production, school uniforms made from indigenous Fasodan Fani cloth, police and military uniforms now produced locally, ending a long history of imports. In a stunning move, lawyers in courts have abandoned European wigs for traditional African attire. Import bans on used clothes cut off a dependence on Western cast-offs. With Traoré, the era of dressing like others has ended. Now is the time for self-made style, identity and values. Bobo Dioulasso. Airport, once a forgotten relic in western Burkina Faso, is now reborn as a key gateway for West Africa. Traoré announced a massive 80 billion CFA franc investment to modernize the entire airport, new terminals, with capacity for 1.5 million passengers, runways, aircraft zones, and connecting roads. This is not just infrastructure, it is a strategic leap to transform Bobo into a regional hub for tourism, trade, and investment. While many countries build airports as photo ops, every brick here speaks of Burkina Faso's handcrafted ambition to put itself on the continent's aviation map. Empowering agriculture, once the only option for the desperate, now a profession for the empowered. In early 2024, the government distributed over 400 tractors, hundreds of motorcycles, pumps, and tens of thousands of tons of fertilizer and seeds directly to farmers and cooperatives. Alongside, $200 million has been invested in training 20,000 youths in smart farming and farm management, granting them land and a future. This is not charity, it is a historic turning point. With projects like high-tech agricultural incubators and aquaculture feed development, Burkina Faso is redefining what it means to be a farmer. Traoré is giving tools, but more importantly, a reason to stay and sow hope. Ouagadougou Donin International Airport, 35 kilometers northeast of the city center, is no ordinary project, featuring a 3 5-kilometer runway expandable to 4 kilometer and modern terminals capable of serving 1 million passengers annually. It's a beacon of green innovation with low carbon concrete and a 25 megawatt solar plant with battery storage. More than a place for planes to take off, it embodies Burkina Faso's vision of sustainable independence. Traoré's ambition extends beyond infrastructure. It's about stepping onto the world stage with new resolve. In January 2024, three of West Africa's poorest yet most stubborn nations, Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, declared their withdrawal from the Western-backed ECOWAS and founded the Sahel Alliance of States (AES). This is no symbolic treaty but a radical break from old institutions, debt-driven development models, and what Traoré calls cloaked interventionism. AES is a coalition of defense, economic policy, currency cooperation, and regional solidarity. With plans for a shared bank stability fund, biometric passports, and rejection of ECOWAS insignia, AES signals a bold, action-driven independence. Building 1,000 social housing units for those uprooted by conflict and poverty, Traoré acknowledges no reconstruction is sustainable without stable homes. With a budget exceeding 5 billion CFA francs, these are not shacks, but a brick-and-mortar promise that every Burkinabe has a place to belong. Urban renewal and road expansions ensure these new neighborhoods are places to live, thrive, and rebuild lives. The audacious goal of 50,000 kilometers of paved roads, 15 times more than the country had since independence, is not outsourced to foreign contractors. Instead, Burkina Faso's own skilled workers, youth, and machinery are mobilized in a nationwide movement to pave the nation's future. Each road connects schools, clinics, markets, and opportunities. For a land once known as the cut-up country, Traoré is using asphalt to stitch unity and hope. Every meter of tarmac is a step towards self-determination. Bobo Dioulasso Inland Port, an unprecedented logistics hub valued at $253 million, rises near the borders of Côte d'Ivoire, Mali, Senegal, and Niger. Designed as an integrated center for warehousing, customs, and freight terminals, it slashes transport time and costs. In a country landlocked by history, Traoré has created a new ocean within its borders. Free education from primary to university is at the root of a generation unafraid of the future. With hundreds of thousands lifted from financial barriers, reopening 250 schools in conflict zones, and building dozens of secondary schools, universities, and vocational centers, the new curriculum blends academics with technical skills and citizenship. Traoré understands a nation only stands tall when its youth know who they are and wield tools to change their lives. Taking back control of energy supply, Burkina Faso purchased Ghana's multifunctional Tema oil port for $70 million, owning the strategic coastal infrastructure vital for fuel imports. A new hydrocarbon storage facility further secures the nation's energy future, reducing dependence on risky land routes. Nuclear power, once a distant dream for a country where only 20% had electricity, is now a bold reality. In July 2023, Burkina Faso inked a $4 billion deal with Russia's Rosatom to build its first nuclear power plant, targeting 90% urban and 50% rural electrification by 2030. This partnership includes technology transfer, workforce training, and community education for peaceful atomic energy. Remembering Thomas Sankara, the spirit of a revolutionary reborn. A grand memorial now rises in Ouagadougou on the very soil where the young revolutionary president fell in 1987. Designed by famed architect Francis Kéré, the monument spans nearly 10,000 square meters, crowned by an 87-meter tower, symbolizing Sankara and his compatriots who fell for Africa's self-reliance, unity, and freedom. Aging with dignity, Burkina Faso's first modern geriatric hospital opens in Bobo Dioulasso, recognizing those who carried the nation's burden. Government programs provide free healthcare and medication subsidies for over 95,000 retirees and their families, transforming a society that once saw old age as a burden into one that honors it with respect and gratitude. The Shanglong cement plant, inaugurated in May 2025, symbolizes self-reliance. A strategic joint venture with Chinese investors, it employs sustainable energy, modern pollution control, and recycling. For Traoré, it's more than construction material. It is the foundation of a nation rebuilt with labor and pride. Electric vehicles designed and built in Burkina Faso are a statement of ingenuity. The Italo EV, launched in the capital, is a 100% homegrown product capable of 330 kilometers on a 30-minute charge with GPS, Bluetooth, and even solar charging, ready for both city and countryside. Italo is not just transport. It is a quiet manifesto of a nation proving it can produce its own future. The Fasorail railway network connects all 45 provinces, slashing transportation costs, boosting internal trade, and awakening forgotten regions. More than rails, Fasorail is the lifeblood of a unified, modern, and sustainable Burkina Faso. Clean water and sanitation, a basic dream once denied to many rural communities, are now becoming a reality. With 48 million from the African Development Bank, mobile water systems, large reservoirs, and 13,500 household toilets are being built, improving health and restoring dignity for 500,000 people. August 4th, stadium in Ouagadougou, named after the revolution that reshaped the nation, is reborn as a vibrant symbol of unity. Upgraded seating, lighting, security, and facilities turn it into the cultural heart of a nation rising from ashes. Gold no longer flows out unrefined. With two major mines nationalized and a new refinery built in partnership with Russia, Burkina Faso retains its wealth, creating thousands of jobs and asserting economic sovereignty. Two university hospitals and mobile clinics bring specialist care to every corner, reducing the need to seek treatment abroad. Healthcare is no longer a luxury, but a right. These 25 projects are no miracles nor flawless plans, but every road, factory, school, and drop of clean water spells one truth: Burkina Faso has begun again on its own terms. In a world where small nations are pressured to choose sides or bow quietly, Ibrahim Traoré and his people stand tall, self-determined, and resilient. How far this journey will go remains unknown, but for now, Burkina Faso proves that even the most forgotten lands with clear vision and burning hearts can rewrite their destiny.